you might need a little bit more help with the problems that I just quizzed you on, and that's okay. Be advised that the problems and the answers will be scrambled, so I can't really refer to them as questions 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you've really got to go back and pay attention to the question that you wrote down. The first question I want to look at is 6 minus 9i over 6i. Since 6i is a monomial and nothing is being added or subtracted on the bottom, I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by I. Don't forget to give the numerator some parentheses so you don't forget to distribute. So when you distribute, that's going to give you 6i minus 9i squared all over 6i squared. Okay, now that we have this, let's take away our I squareds. So our I squareds are going to go away and change the sign up front. So now I have 9 plus 6i over negative 6. Now where you have to be careful is that 9, 6 have a 3 in common. So I need to divide those out. So when I divide those out, that's going to give me 3 plus 2i over negative 2. That wasn't an option because of this negative here. We don't like having negatives on the bottom. So what I want to do is move it to the numerator. When I do that, I'm going to need a set of parentheses. That gives me negative 3 minus 2i over positive 2. Let's take a look at the next one. The next problem I want to consider is negative 2 minus I over negative 3 plus 5i. This time we have a binomial. So I want to take a look at what's in the denominator and change the sign only in the middle. So I'm going to have negative 3 minus 5i on the top and bottom. Don't forget about your parentheses. We need to FOIL. Remember, when you go to FOIL these problems, resist the urge to simplify too fast. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Negative 2 times negative 5, I, positive 10i. Negative I times negative 3, positive 3i. Negative I times negative 5i, positive 5i squared. That's my numerator. Denominator, negative 3 times negative 3, 9. Negative 3 times negative 5i, positive 15i. 5i times negative 3i, negative 15i. 5i times negative 5i, negative 25i squared. Now that I've FOILed, now I'm going to go back, cross out my I squareds to make it negative or positive, and make sure that these numbers in the middle cancel out. So 6 minus 5 is 1. 10 plus 3 is that 13i all over 9 plus 25, which is 34. And to be honest with you, I didn't write it in red in case it simplified, but this is as simple as it goes. So I could have gone ahead and written it in red, because we know that in my class, when it's written in red, it means you're done. Okay? Moving on to the next problem. Not number 3. Sorry, I'm even conditioned to do that. The next problem is 3 over negative 2i. I do not have a binomial in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by that I. When you multiply straight across, that's going to give me 3i over negative 2i squared. Don't forget, I squared makes that positive, so my final answer is 3i over 2. Next up, we have negative 3 plus 4i over negative 2i. Again, the denominator does not have a binomial, it's only a monomial. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by that I. Don't forget your parentheses to remind you to distribute. So I've got negative 3i plus 4i squared all over negative 2i squared. I squareds are going to change the signs. So my final answer is negative 4 minus 3i all over positive 2. One more. Okay, one more. We have negative 14i to the 53 power. When you're dealing with those, you only want to consider the exponent first. Take 53 and divide it by 4. When you do this, you get 13.25. Remember, all we really care about is that decimal. And think quarters. 0.25, that's just 1. So I would rewrite this as 14 I to the first power. But I to the first power is redundant, so my answer is negative 14i. Now that you've watched me go through all of these problems, I want you to try a couple more. Practice makes progress. If you're still struggling, please ask.